So the engine is beautiful. It has got a good low end torque, it has got a mid-range power, but it doesn't have much of a top end performance. That's the reason why when you are actually nearing the red line, the motorcycle actually flats off. Let's do it once again. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today we have the most beautiful Royal Enfield Bear 650. So welcome to the review of this motorcycle. So I was riding this motorcycle for the past 1 week and I have clocked roughly around 800 to 1000 kilometers on this, and today I'm somewhere in Tamil Nadu. Just a beautiful place, a very peaceful place, and the right time to review the Bear 650. So basically I had a little bit of expectations from this motorcycle, and this motorcycle has gone past my expectations. First of all, we'll start from the looks. It's a beautiful looking motorcycle. There are few bits on this motorcycle which actually attracts me. First of all, the scrambler looking altogether, that section. You see that tank, that Bear 650 written over there, where there is a little bit of a space over there where we can put our number. So that actually gives a lot of feel that this is a scrambler. The spoke wheels, kind of a button tire, USD Fox, and the beautiful looking 650cc engine. It's not just beautiful looking, it is actually retuned for the Bear 650 compared to the Interceptor. On this one actually we get only a single sided exhaust, and that has made a lot of difference on this motorcycle. And also a very nicely well laid seat. This color combo is absolutely brilliant. This yellow and the blue color combo is absolutely brilliant. So from the headlight actually we can see that this is the same headlight that we have seen with the 650 series. Not a good headlight in terms of functionality, it's kind of okay. The indicators looks killer. You look at that, it looks so neat and so well designed. And coming on to the rear section, here also it looks beautiful. It's a classy tail light, and the tail section also looks very neat. And this actually reminds me of the actual scramblers that we have seen from the Triumph from olden days. And also I personally own a Ducati Scrambler desert sled, and I have to tell that this has a little bit of inspiration from that as well. Basically, if you see, this is actually a very well inspired version of a scrambler from the Triumph series. The Interceptor 650 also is a big inspiration from the Triumph, but this one has a huge inspiration. So to start off with few of the technical spec over here, we get USD suspension on this one from Showa. It's little onto a tighter side, but I'll say that it is hugely making the control of this motorcycle to a different level compared to the Interceptor. The spoke wheels, that's a turn down factor because it doesn't comes with a tubeless spokes, it's a normal spoke. And the tire is actually from MRF. It reminds me of the Pirelli Rally STR, which I've been using on my desert sled, but still holds good. It's a 50-50 tire, got a little bit of road noise, but it's okay, very fun to ride. Before we get into the rest of the details in the video, let me introduce you my video sponsor, Way to Speed, which is very important for a motorcycle enthusiast. In a world of adventure where you want to take your motorcycle anywhere, getting a puncture on your tube tire shouldn't be a problem. Let me introduce you to Way to Speed Tubeless Conversion Kit, which I personally use on my adventure motorcycle. This kit includes high quality sealants designed to seal tube type tires, ensuring they perform reliable on any terrain. I've been using it on my Ducati desert sled for off-roading over the past few months without any trouble. The installation process takes time, so patience is key for multi-layer sealing to set properly. It involves cleaning the rim and resetting the spokes first. Although the conversion requires no longer maintenance, TopGear Thumpers can assist you in case of any air leaks, which may occur if you run with low tire pressure and the bead opens. Way to Speed also offers a range of products for Royal Enfields, including much needed suspension upgrades for the Interceptor and the GT650, as well as air filter for all models. You can reach out to either TopGear Thumpers or Way to Speed directly to get these. Now back to the video. And this engine, the 650cc engine, has a different tuning compared to the Interceptor 650. This has roughly around 5 Newton meters of torque more than the Interceptor, and that is actually killing it. Now the thing is, like, when you are inside city and you have to ride this motorcycle in single gear, you can actually do that. It doesn't stall, be it on the second gear or on the third gear. The motorcycle doesn't stall, you can just ride it like that. And to the exhaust actually, it's a bit different because you don't have that wide exhaust coming here. So the advantage is you can squeeze this motorcycle anywhere. The disadvantage, it sounds a little different, but it's okay in my manner, I'll say. And also I don't like that design of the exhaust as such. You look at it, sometimes people who love scramblers might find it interesting, but in my eyes it's not the best exhaust that you can give to this motorcycle. And in the rear we get twin shock absorbers, the twin springs, and that has a lot of travel as well compared to the Interceptor. So the front also has a lot of travel. So comparing, I'll say that the front and the rear suspension are actually onto a stiffer side compared with the Interceptor 650, but it gives a lot of control. I really love it. And if you see the seat, actually there is a scoop over here, so this is the place actually you sit. So in this coupe, so this is actually a little bit of a sportier riding, a little more commuter riding kind of a feel. So it gives a different feel altogether. You have more control on the motorcycle, you have the weight concentrated over here, and you can actually manage the weight really well. And the pillion seat is not so big if you plan to ride with pillion for a long time. First thing you observe is the pillion is actually sitting very near to you, and the seating comfort is good. I like it, but the space is a constraint compared to this. This is a little harder, so the space is a little confined. Legroom is also a little less for the pillion. So let's get on the motorcycle and talk few things. So once I get on, it's actually a bit of a taller motorcycle. You see that I'm kind of tiptoeing, and we have adjustable levers here, and the switch keys actually finds it familiar because directly again comes from the other 650s. So we have the high beam and the low beam pass switch, and the home button over here, indicator horn, and on this side we have the ignition and the kill switch, and here we have one mode switch, and it is absolutely working perfect because on one click you can disable the ABS in the rear side. So if I turn it on, Bear 650, the same digital design we have seen with other 650. So just press this once, it says rear ABS off, and 90% of the time it works. 10% it doesn't work. It keeps telling that you have to turn off the ignition and turn it on, and the sound is actually a bit different from the Interceptor 650. Let's hear it. It feels a little more gruntier and a little more louder than the Interceptor 650, but it's altogether it sounds good. So now let's go for a ride and talk about the things. Alright, we are back on road. I think we have a little bit of open stretch. Let's pull it hard. You see that I just reached the 5th gear and almost crossed 140 km/h in no time. The 3rd gear itself actually will pull you to 100 km/h mark. So in my opinion, I'll say that the engine is just beautiful. Always I love this engine from Royal Enfield. Yeah, of course I love the 450cc as well, the one which we have seen with the new Himalayan and the Gorilla. But the 650cc is one of my favorite engines from Royal Enfield, and they have really tuned it correctly, especially for the scrambler variant, because when it comes to the Interceptor, this is not a problem with the Interceptor, but still I feel that Interceptor is actually a good city motorcycle as well, because it is good for the straight roads, be it city or the highways. It is actually good for straight roads, and when it is on the highway, it actually goes really well with that engine. It just goes in a straight line very good. But on this one, actually you have a lot of torque, in the sense that plus 5 Newton meters of torque has done wonders on this motorcycle. So I can actually ride this motorcycle inside city, be it in the 2nd gear and the 3rd gear. Still I can comfortably ride this motorcycle without much effort. The hard part is this comes with a heavier clutch, so it's the same with Interceptor as well. So we have to do a lot of gear shift in Interceptor, but this one, it is actually good. And also the ergonomics is in a way that we are putting a little bit of lean angle to our upper body and a relaxed riding posture to the lower body, and the lower body has a little bit of a raised foot peg compared to the Interceptor, but that's fine. So the good part is we have the whole weight of that engine over here, underneath here. But on the Interceptor, actually it almost feels like a cruiser, that you are sitting like this and the engine is there, and you are actually trying to maneuver everything parallelly. So on this one, actually you are attacking the engine, you are actually attacking the weight of the motorcycle, and you have it in hand. So the engine is beautiful. It has got a good low end torque, it has got a mid-range power, but it doesn't have much of a top end performance. That's the reason why when you are actually nearing the red line, the motorcycle actually flats off. Let's do it once again. You see that there is a big flat spot in the top end, but the bottom end and the mid range is actually very good. This motorcycle is actually much faster. It can do 0 to 100 much quicker. Of course, the 650cc is actually very comfortable motorcycle, a comfortable engine. I don't say that it's a rev-free engine, that it wanted to rev all the time. It's not like that. The mid RPM is the sweet spot. The 4000 to 5000 RPM is the sweet spot. It doesn't vibrate a lot. There is a little bit of vibration. Until today, I was feeling that this doesn't have any vibration, and I rode a Kawasaki 1000 just some time ago, which I shouldn't have done that. So after that I feel like, yeah, this twin cylinder has a little bit of vibration, but this engine has got a lot of character. It is actually a playful engine now. I can really feel that. And let's leave the engine apart. When you go through all these kind of yellow lines, I can feel that yellow lines. I don't say that it's an uncomfortable suspension, but I'll tell you that actually, do you really need a so comfortable suspension? Because we have that kind of a suspension on the Meteor and on the Shotgun, the Interceptor, everything. So let's have a little more sportier suspension on this one, and Royal Enfield has nailed it. By the way, this is not a Royal Enfield sponsored video or something. Until I was getting this motorcycle, I was very angry with Royal Enfield because I was not getting this at all, and my wait was very long. I actually waited for around 2 to 3 months, to be honest. So I was very angry, and I cooled down instantly after started riding this motorcycle. So the suspension is actually be the front suspension or the rear suspension. Let me do a tire slide. Cool. His face, man. Okay, the front and the rear suspension are actually a bit onto a tighter side, but gives a lot of control, I really love it. So the ergonomics, the suspension, the engine takes this motorcycle to a different level. And the braking is good, I like it. Be the front brake or the rear brake, it's good. Rear brake is actually a little more punchier than I expected. When we turn off the rear ABS, actually we can do tire locks easily, very easily. But the only thing is like the ABS is actually very sensitive, in the sense beat on the road, the ABS kicks in very early. Probably that has something to do with the tires, because it's a 50-50 tire from MRF. The tire grip is good. Once I start leaning over the motorcycle, I'll get to know that this is not a Pirelli tire. I shouldn't do that, because the race started getting wavy and not giving too much of comfort. So the tires are okay kind of thing, but the brakes are actually very good. And because of this intermediate tire and good brake, the ABS is kicking very early. And we have an option only to turn off the rear ABS. That is okay in my opinion, because this is not a completely off-roading motorcycle, it's a soft-roading motorcycle in my eyes. And the seating comfort is good. I have spent around 1.5 hours of continuous riding inside Bangalore traffic, and then I got to know that, yeah, this is actually good. The seat is good, because coming on the highway I feel much comfortable riding motorcycle, but city traffic actually tires you a lot. And the heavier clutch, the gear shift is kind of okay, I'll say that. Typical Royal Enfield gearbox. Most of the time, 80% of the time, it doesn't go wrong. 10 to 20% of the time, yeah, it gives a clunky feel. We have an open road. The engine actually allows to do 130 to 140 on the highway, but the wind blast is more. Of course, it's kind of a naked sporty motorcycle, so the wind blast is more. You have to deal with it, but still it is good. In my eyes, still it is good. I really love it, the way how it goes. Let's talk about the ownership part. So this actually comes for 4.35 lakh on-road Bangalore, which I'll say that a value for money. I know that 4,35,000 is a huge chunk of money, but Royal Enfield has hit the right mark with this engine. I have to say that. Maybe I'm a guy who loves riding sports motorcycles now, getting onto off-road, especially scramblers. So in my eyes, I'm saying that Royal Enfield has nailed this thing rightly. That's the reason why I told that this 4.35 is not at all a bad price, and I'll say that it's a good price for the thing what it does, because it looks good in all the colors of this motorcycle. It looks good. It looks like a proper scrambler, and scrambler is like an open book for you. You can actually modify the motorcycle in your own terms. So first of all, it's good that Royal Enfield has given Showa suspension on this one. You can actually change the direction of your steering, I mean the handlebar, towards you or away from you. You can keep it, not a problem at all. So with that price point, I'll say that it's an open book, and you can actually work on this motorcycle a lot. And the service interval is like first service in 500 kilometers, and after that once in 5,000 kilometers or 6 months. And the service cost, if you don't have anything to replace, that means any big replacements, then the cost is something like 1,500 to 2,500. And mileage is like 17 to 19 inside city, and off-roads you can even get 15 km per liter, and on the highway you'll get something like 20 to 25 km per liter. And also if you are riding at 80 km per hour, so if you are riding in 120 to 150 all the time, the mileage will come down to 20 km. So now let's come into the verdict part of this motorcycle. Is Bear 650 a good off-roading motorcycle? No, absolutely no. Himalayan is a good off-roading machine, 100%, no doubt on that. But on this one, I'll say that you can actually take this 650cc out of the road with the chassis. The chassis is good, the rake angle is a little different, so that means you can actually take it off-road. I have done that, but it takes a lot of effort. On a Himalayan it would have been easy. If you want to do rally riding, definitely Himalayan is your choice. But say you are riding on this kind of an highway and the highway goes completely off, that means some work is happening and you are going to do a lot of off-roading. This is not going to tie you up. It's like just how you are riding on this highway, like in 80 to 100 speeds, you can actually reduce your speed to 60 km and you can still ride it. That's what I meant by soft roading. So it has good capability for on and off the road, but the thing is, when it comes to pure off-roading, it takes a lot of effort because the 650cc engine is so heavy. I've tried doing a lot of off-roading and this is my observation, but still it's not a bad choice at all. And when it comes to the highway, I am actually really impressed with this kind of a riding posture because you have a lot of control on the motorcycle, so you can actually cruise at a speed of 120 easy. And I won't say it's a good pillion oriented motorcycle, but a decent choice for the highway. And when it comes to city riding, I would say that out of all the 650cc's, including Interceptor 650, this will be the most comfortable one to ride. And of course, the clutch is heavy and it heats up pretty bad, especially during summers. You can actually ride this motorcycle inside city because it is a bit more easy to maneuver. Because on the Interceptor, I felt that thing, like it feels like a straight ship. You have to steer it from behind, you have to steer it from the back of the ship to maintain a control. On this one, it's not like that. If you want to filter, you can do on this motorcycle, and it's much faster. It's like the Hunter kind of a feel, you know. The 350cc has been taken up to a different level with the Hunter 350, so that is the same thing which I feel with this motorcycle. So it's an all-rounder motorcycle, but not the best one to do all of it. So that's my personal feedback about the motorcycle. If you ask me if I found anything really negative about the motorcycle until now, I would say nothing. But for off-roads, if there is a little more raised handlebar, that'll be good, because the handlebar is actually wide on this motorcycle. Still, a little more rises will solve that problem for taller riders. But even as a shorter rider, I feel that I'm not so confident and comfortable standing on the motorcycle because it put me a lot of lean angle to my upper body, and that's why a lot of effort on off-roading. Otherwise, I would say that this is a beautiful motorcycle for you to own, and it's a true scrambler. And the second negative which I found with the motorcycle is that it doesn't comes with tubeless spokes. Royal Enfield could have given that, because yeah, spokes are welcoming, but having an alloy wheel is good, but not on this kind of a thing. So you take it off-road, you'll break it. You'll seriously break those things if you wanted to do off-roading with those kind of alloys. So that's my review on the Bear 650, and if this video has helped you, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.